Alrighty, happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope that you have your clock brains on today. We are going to go ahead and work through some more clocks. We should be experts at being able to count our minutes. I want to get started today with thinking about our clock song that we've done so that we can get our brains ready. So we know that the hands on the clock go round and round, round and round, round and round. The hands on the clock go round and round to tell us the time. The shorthand the clock goes number two, number two, number two, number. The shorthand the clock, this red hand goes number two, tell us the hour. Then the long hand the clock goes around by fives, around by fives, around by fives. The long hand the clock goes around by fives to tell us the minutes. So we can see right here that my hour hand is going to be, it is, let me fix this. All right, my hour hand is between my 6 and my 7. So it hasn't touched the 7 yet, so it's gonna be still in the 6 o'clock hour. And then the minute hand goes around by fives. So we can see right here, if you look closely, they already labeled it for the blue, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So this time, I try to challenge you a little bit, is 6:25, okay? So we're gonna use this today to be able to build on our knowledge because we're gonna move on past just o'clock and just past half hour or half past, and we're going to move into some quarters. So having that knowledge of what a quarter looks like is going to help us looking at our clocks today. So let me go ahead and we are going to move through our next lesson, and we are going to look at, you should have done this fluency already with Miss Buford. We're going to look at lesson 12, so you can see that you can recognize halves within a circular clock face and tell time to the half hour. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to look at different fractions of our clock, okay? So write the time that matches this clock. Look at the hour, look at the minutes, remember our song, and this is 11 o'clock right here, right? So it would look like 11 o'clock. Awesome. All right. So let's go to the next one. This one. Think about what this one says. Write the time that matches the clock. And yep, 2 is the hour, no minutes, so it is o'clock, 2 o'clock. You guys are on it today. Let's see if we can challenge our brains now. So think about which is the shorthand, which is the longhand. So this one would be 6 is where the shorthand is, and there's 0 minutes because it's at the top. It is 6 o'clock. Awesome. So what we're going to do now is on your clocks, I want you to show the time. Then write the time the way it would appear on a digital clock. So 7 o'clock. I want you to draw it real quick if you can, and then I'm going to show you what it would look like on my clock. About 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. If you need more time to draw your clock so you can use it, go ahead, and this is what it would look like. Let me make my screen a little bit bigger for you guys to see. Okay, there you go. This is what 7 o'clock. The hour, the minute, 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and look at another one. 8 o'clock. Go ahead. You've got 5 seconds here. You should be able to just quick fix our hour hand and fix it on your clock. And this is what 8 o'clock would look like. Hour, minutes, 8 o'clock, 8 and 0 minutes. Awesome. 12 o'clock. Go ahead and write this one in. Awesome. And boom, like this. So you can see right here, you can't see my hour hand because it's actually underneath it. When the minute hand is at the top, it means o'clock, so I need it there. And I have my 12 pointing to the 12 for the hour. It is 12 is the hour, 0 minutes, 12 o'clock. Alrighty, let's see one last one. Draw it on there for me. 5 o'clock. There are 0 minutes. 5 is my hour. My shorthand will point to the 5 and my minute hand up on top. It is 5 is the hour, 0 minutes, 5 o'clock. Very good. So let me go ahead, make myself a little smaller in this screen here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I want you to write the time that matches this clock. Right, I see it is a 7 for the shorthand, and the minute hand's up top. It is 7 o'clock because I don't have any minutes to count. Very good. Let's see if we can do another one. All right, I want you to say this time 2 ways. Write the time that matches. There's 2 ways we learned how to say this yesterday. Think about it if you can remember. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna talk myself through this one because I can see it's not pointing to a number exactly, but I know it hasn't touched this 1 yet. So it is still in the 12 o'clock hour, but it is not 12 o'clock because I have minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it is actually 12:30, or what's the other way I could say it? It is halfway around the circle, so it is 12:30. Very good. So the next thing that I want us to do is go ahead and see if we can do one last one and see if you can say this one 2 ways without me having to talk you through it. I'm looking at the hour hand, right? It is 1:30 or half past, because it is halfway around 1 o'clock, 1:30. Very good. So let's take a look, and I want you to go ahead and tell me, show on your time on your clock, and then write the way it would be on a digital clock like we just did. So 8:30. Think about where the hour hand needs to be because it doesn't need to be touching a number when it is 8:30 a number. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to either get a clock, draw a clock, and write a clock. And I'm going to write it on mine. And I'm going to show you it. So if you need more time, go ahead and take a little more time. I'm going to make myself a little bigger so you can see it. So I have 8:30. My minute hand is halfway around. And then I know that my hour needs to be halfway between the 8 and 9 because it is halfway through the hour. 8:30. Awesome. Let's see if you guys can do another one. 9 o'clock. I'm going to do it while you do it. And I know, I'm going to show you that my hour is at the 9. I have 0 minutes because it is o'clock, and it would be 9, 0 minutes, 9 o'clock. Very good. Let's try another one. 9:30. All right. All right, I'm going to show you what I got. And I know that it is, my minutes says half past. So my minutes have gone halfway around. So my clock has gone, hour hand's gone halfway between the 9 and the 10. It is 9:30 because if you look closely, remember when I counted on the outside by fives, I can see it is 30 at the bottom. 9:30 or half past 9. Try at 11 o'clock. This one should be simple. You guys should be clock masters by now. I got it. I hope you got it. And go. I have 11 as my hour, 00 o'clock is a minute, so it is 11 o'clock. Try another one, 10:30. I'm gonna move a little quicker on this one. I bet you guys can do it too. Make sure you are working hard on it though. 10:30. All right, I know it's 30, so I know my hour is gonna be between two numbers, halfway between the 10 and the 11. And that my minutes at the 30, because my fives, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it is 10:30. Very good. 10:30 is what it would look like. Let's do one more, I believe. Try 7 o'clock. I got this one. Let's see if you guys can get it too. Alrighty. I have my hour as a 7. Minute at the top for o'clock, no minutes. 7:00, 7 o'clock. Awesome job. Oh, I lied. There's one last one. Let's do one more challenge. 6:30. I think I got it. I hope you got it. And I hope this is the way yours looks like. Boom. All right, 6:30 would mean that I have my hours halfway between the 6 and the 7, and then my minute hand is halfway around to the 30. So it is 6:30. Nice job, guys. So I'm going to make this up a little bit smaller. So now that we have the knowledge of the full hour and the half hour, we need to go ahead and think about, what about a quarter of an hour? So I'm going to cover the minute hand. We're going to work on quarter of an hour, but I want us to think about first, if we can look at where the hour hand is, if we could tell where the minutes are. So I can see in this picture, my hour hand is pointing directly to the 2. So if I know my hour hand is pointing directly to the 2, I know my minute hand is going to be where? It's going to be up at the 2 o'clock because it hasn't gone through the hour at all, right? So when the hour is on a number, the minute hand is going to be up at the top of the o'clock, okay? So let's try another one. Ooh, now my hour hand seems to be moved halfway between the 2 and the 3. So where's my minute hand going to be? My minute hand, as my minute hand moves, my hour hand moves just a little bit. So now it's going to be down here at the bottom because it's halfway around, halfway between the two numbers. The minutes must be halfway around the clock. It would be 2:30. Let's try another one. 4. Oh, I see my hour hand is pointing directly at the 4. So where's my minute hand? At the top. 4 o'clock. Look at the next one. Is it touching a number? So is my hour minute hand going to be up top? No, it's not going to be at the o'clock. It looks like it's halfway between, so my minute hand is going to be halfway around. So it's actually going to be 9:30 because it's not touching the 10 yet. It is still in the 9 o'clock hour. All right, look closely. Is it touching a number for the hour hand? Has it hit the 8 yet? So the hour is going to be 7. It's halfway between them. So my minutes are going to be at the bottom halfway around the circle, it is 7:30. Very good. All right, so I want you to listen to my story. We're gonna work through a problem together. So see if you can help me figure out what time it would be. So Kim's dance class starts at 3 o'clock. The class lasts half an hour. So what does the clock look like when the class is over or when it ends? I want you to show the time by using your paper clocks or drawing a clock and writing it on your board. So think about it. If my time of my dance class starts at 3 o'clock and it's going to last 30 minutes, wait a minute, I know how I can do this. I know my minute hand goes around by fives. And so I can just count out 30 minutes by counting by five. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. My time will be, well, it's not touching the 4 yet. It's still in the 3 o'clock hour. It's going to be 3:30. My dance class will end at 3:30 for Kim. And this is what it would look like. Awesome. So I want you guys to think about what clocks are going to look like. I skipped through a couple of different slides because I want you guys to get some practice on your own. So on these ones, I want you to say, fill in the blanks, and I want you to answer whether A or B. The clock blank shows 11:30. Remember, halfway through, and remember where the hour hand needs to be. So for number 2, it says the clock blank shows 2:30. So go ahead and complete this. You guys don't have these in your packet anymore, so I want you guys to look at the screen. You can pause it until you can answer which clock shows 6 o'clock for 3, which clock shows 9 o'clock, or 9:30, I'm sorry, for 4, and then which clock shows 6:30 for number 5. If you need time, go ahead and pause it. You can pick which one is correct. Then here, I'm going to work through this one with you because this one's a little bit more challenging. So every middle number right here in the middle is going to have a line that it connects to on both sides, okay? So for 7:30, well, I know that it's not going to be fully around the circle, and I know it has to be in the 7 o'clock hour. Oh, I look down here and I can see that this hour hand is between them, so it's still in 7 and it's at this 30. So 7:30 is right here, and then I can see 7:30 right here. So every middle one is going to have one on each side, an analog clock and a digital clock from the word form, okay? 1:30. I know that my hour still needs to be between the 1 and the 2. So I know, oh, right here, I can look at this one. It's between the 1 and the 2, and it's at the 30. So 1:30, and it says 1:30 down here, okay? So you guys can go ahead and figure out for the last 2 which ones match to it on the other sides. Pause it here if you need more time. I'll give you about 10 more seconds to figure out which digital clock and analog clock match. I'm going to go ahead and leave this screen, so if you need more time, pause it. So I hope that you guys are starting to recognize the difference between an hour and a half an hour and half past a little bit more, and being able to recognize where the hour hand needs to be to match them. So happy Wednesday, have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back for one more clock lesson tomorrow.